Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the BSC Spring Season Round 6. And we're at Homested, Miami for the Jarrett 125. I'm James Parfitt. I'm going to be joined in the booth as I always have been for the last 2 years, and I think I'm going to be for probably the next 2 years. It is, of course, the man who knows pretty much everything, Mr. Kenton Sportak. However, he knows everything about the tracks, but he doesn't watch NASCAR. Figure that one out. Let's bring you up with the scores on the doors at the moment there. Dan Michel, he is out in front of 137 points. He has had his 50-point deduction, and also we've added 2 drop weeks into this with Alex Witt in second and 132. Anthony Savinano on 129 with Noel Jackowitz at 124 and Andrew Chamberlain on 122. Cody Kerr 111, David Trogdon 109 and Terry Spainer on 108. Jody Kimmel 103 with Brandon McLaughlin rounded out the top 10 on 102. Then you've got Joshua Keefe, Sawyer Gara, Seth Pegg, Josh Kuhn, Jonathan Smith, Rob Sizemore, Armand Brusso, and Tom Kuhn at the back. And Bradley Young, Jeffrey Reed, Anthony Radel, Terry Spainer, Calvin Ross, Max Christensen, Zachary Lewis, and Benito Chavez. That is the last one in the championship. Homestead, Miami. Well, let's bring Kenton into the booth and have a quick chat with him about this circuit. Kenton, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
Doing well. Weather's starting to turn. Had a good run today. Didn't freeze. It's been great. That's all I needed.
Okay, well done.
Yeah, it was good. But yeah, very interesting track. Homestead, Miami. It's a lot of fun. Has a very underutilized. Well, okay, I was gonna say underutilized road circuit, but I can see 2 cars that were floating around on it. It's a very interesting road circuit, which looks like a lot of fun, and I would really like to try it. However, as a track for NASCAR is very interesting because it's an outside-inside track, but not in like the you enter on the outside, mid-corner you're down low and then exit outside. It's a turns 1 and 2 you're going to be up at the wall. Turns 3 and 4 you're very much going to be on the line, and it's kind of the fastest way to do it, but it also will horribly eat your tires no matter which direction you go. It is one of probably, I'd say, one of the roughest tracks for your tires. Just wheel spin is not the friendliest. Doesn't have the highest of banking, 18 to 20, so kind of that progressive corner banking with 4 degrees on the straights as well. But yeah, what does definitely get you is gear shifts in here are important when you're running the low line, if you run that low line. But if you're high line, you aren't gear shifting, but you are going to wear your tires. If you stay low and you gear up with a little bit too much excitement, you're going to spin those tires and burn them out as well. So no matter what you do, you're going to burn your tires. It's just how much you want to burn them.
Yeah, I think that was the thing. I watched Cup Race over the weekend and trucks, and I watched Kyle Larson literally run the wall when his tyres went dead. He pretty much just stayed as high as he possibly can and ran the wall and then ended up taking the victory. So fair play to him on that one. But I think this is going to be a track that's going to be very, very interesting. I don't think we're going to see one line. I didn't see it at all through Sunday's Cup race. They were literally all over the circuit. There wasn't a particular line that they had to take or was going to take. I think with the progressive banking on the corners, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be interesting. I will be seeing who can make their tyres last, mind you, because I've got a funny feeling tyres are going to play a massive part here. They're running on 70% fuel, 4 tyre sets as well, but they have got a stage break at 50, and then we go straight to 125. I'll be interested to know whether or not they're going to be able to manage how far they're going to likely to be getting staged. Now, obviously, when you're looking at real life, it's a little bit different, but they were pitting in their first pit box on lap 32, 33, around that area, and they're real life cars. So I'm wondering if we're going to get kind of that same scenario here, but they're going to have to take a pit stop for at least tires before they get to the stage.
More than likely, and I mean, they at least have some. It's not a ton of tires. I believe it's 4 sets. So you're definitely gonna have to use some, I think, before the stage break. unless you are, heavy tire whisperer on this one. But you're most likely using all 4 sets. I don't think you're going to really have the opportunity to be able to save any of these tires. You're really going to wear through them quite quickly. And so I think it's all just going to be as smart as you can and trying to sort of mitigate as much wear as possible. The longer, obviously, you can make a tire set last, the better your chances near the end, because you can have a fresher set closer to the end. And I think that's going to be a huge, a step over everybody if you have somewhat fresher tires near the end there.
Yeah, you definitely will. The more you can keep your tire life, the better you'll be able to run this race. I hate to have to keep going back to it, but obviously the only reference was from the cup race on Sunday. Was literally, it was just, you can tell who had the fresher tires. You could tell who was able to come through the field. And then all of a sudden, you knew they were dropping off because they'd move away from that middle line and literally hug the wall tighter than their favorite grandma. And I mean, literally, it was almost like using the wall to rotate yourself around the corner. And that was one of the things I found quite interesting from the weekend's race, was just how close they did get to the wall. Larson was millimeters, literally millimeters away from the wall all the way around the circuit. It was really quite impressive driving, I've got to be honest, but it was, very, very interesting indeed.
Yeah, and it's going to kind of come down to sort of sacrificing a slower, or not carrying as much speed and things like that through the first couple stints, and sort of allowing yourself and accepting that you're going to be a little further back, but to have a better set closer to the end. To me, that seems like a no-brainer, but you do have to be patient and kind of mentally allow yourself to realize, I'm going to be falling behind some people who aren't doing that, but it's a very long-term sort of gain for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think that'll be something for people to kind of keep in mind as they're going, because obviously it could go very south very quickly otherwise.
Yeah, definitely. I do fully agree. We are in qualifying, guys. They are just driving around the circuit, setting times. Alex Witt done the fastest time with J. Millen Trogdon. TJ sitting in 4th. We've got 19 cars. Sorry, I was trying to do maths then. 19 cars on the never a good idea at nearly 1 o'clock in the morning. Just got 12 o'clock, sorry. But 19 cars on the circuit. Kind of feel that's probably around about what we want here. I feel we've got right numbers, as Noel Jakowitz is doing some wonderful donuts for us.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good number, all things considered. Obviously, more there are, the little spicier it can get, which could be interesting, but also I know how much you would love to be here till 3 a.m. So no. I guess what did you say? It's been we don't want that. So no, I think this is gonna be a good number, and it'll allow some space for people to drive sort of whatever lines they need to when they need to, within reason, obviously, but kind of give you that ability and sort of allow some exciting racing to go on.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's bring you up the grid for the start of this race. Alex Witt is on pole position with Andrew Jamelin, David Trogdon, TJ Spainhour, Josh Kuhn, Jeff Reed, Cody Kern, Sawyer Gara, Terry W, Noel Jakowitz, Brad Young, and Seth Pegg. Further down, we got Rob Sizemore. Let's go 52 in the YouTube chat with Happy Little Cupcake, apparently. Tom Kuhn, Anthony Savignano, winner of last week. He was winner last week, wasn't he? And then now down in 15th, Anthony Radel, Trenton Kimmelrama, Bruce Calvin Ross. Again, guys, we reiterate this pretty much on a weekly basis. I really would not worry about qualifying on an oval in a NASCAR series. It's just literally irrelevant to a degree, Kenton, and I think that's kind of why we don't really worry too much about it.
Yeah, it's irrelevant in the most normal sense of, like, in I guess the basic sense of the word. Like, obviously there is some relevance the closer to the beginning you are, the closer to the front you are, the less you have to worry about, incidents and problems. Not, being in first doesn't negate you from being involved in incidents. We have definitely seen that, especially at some of the faster tracks and the, more plate racing, but it does help, kind of alleviate that. Like if you're mid-pack and you've got a crash that happens in front of you, then you either have to get lucky, or you just have to be very lucky to sort of escape it and not really worry. Whereas, if you're up at the front, it's a little easier to not have to stress about it. So, but in terms of final placing, it can have very little impact on the actual placement of your car by the end, just because so many things can happen. I mean, heck, we're already going to have a big change, as Alex Witt is going to have pole, but not going to actually have pole, as he was assessed a penalty last week for the apron rule in where were we last week? Las Vegas, as he came back up and is going to get a 1-lap hold to start this race.
Yep.
But we saw that last week with Dan Michel. He had the same, he actually had a 2-lap hold and was fighting for a win by the end. So it's easy to overcome some situations. You just got to be smart and stay out of trouble.
Do you think, although penalties need to be given, and I fully understand that, and I'm not stupid here, ladies and gentlemen, do you think the fact that Dan Michel was almost winning last week with a 2-lap stop and hold, do you feel somewhat kind of negates the point of having a penalty?
In that situation, it did, strictly because of how there was quite a few incidents. I think we ended up with 6 or 7, and it cleaned up quite a bit near the end and all that. But like, if you don't want the guy who's penalized to get the advantage, don't create cautions.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, into the Geico restart zone. The Jarrett 125 is green, green, green. You can see them all strolling side by side at the moment. How much longer is this likely to take place? That's going to be the question, as I do expect them to be moving all over the racetrack. TJ making his way forward at the moment. Got a great run out of 2 alongside. Oh, you are kidding. You're not kidding. Okay. Well, surely that's going to negate Alex Witt's lap.
I don't know, because he had any. Oh, he just got loose coming out of the corner. As did that Sizemore in the back there?
No. Can't be Sizemore.
Oh, it's the 56. So that is
Rob Sizemore.
Yeah, Sizemore. Yeah. Then
Rob.
Yeah, it must have been him. Someone got a little loose coming out of the corner, but it looked like Josh Kuhn here just unfortunately got a little bit loose, and I sort of mentioned that with this track. You're gonna fire up those tires if you spin, and when you do spin like that, well, it's gonna send you around, and another car being right behind you, it's definitely gonna send you around. So
yeah, Witt's
starting a lap back.
It's gonna get the wave around by the looks of it.
Yeah, he'll get the lucky dog, but he's still gonna be a lap down.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know why his livery's not loading, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot get it. So I've tried refreshing. You've just seen all the cars go white. So I'm not quite sure what's gone on with Alex Witt's livery. Quick check in. YouTube chat. Billy is always in here. Hello, welcome in. Go TJ Brad. Cupcake, go 52. Now, is that Trenton? Why is the tower doing that as well? That only ever does that if one of cautions not count.
I think it was Alex was because he was so far up, it threw everything off. I think he was supposed to have stopped at the end of the group. Instead, he went all the way up and thinking he was going to get another wave around, and it did not work that way. Yeah. So he will still be a lap down.
So happy little cupcake. Don't go Trent and Kimmel. Thank you. Sorry, Lydia. Go TJ and Brad and Codfiend 569 Pepto. Soyagara.
I think that's Sorry, I'm assuming that's the Soyagara car.
It is.
Which is I still love the pink. It's so nice.
It is. It's a pretty color. It reminds me a lot of Peppa Pig.
I don't have kids and I'm not 7, so I'll take your word on that.
Jumping up and down and
younger?
Yeah, 7. Yeah, you're right. She is 7.
Okay.
She don't really watch Peppa Pig anymore, mind you, but it does remind me a lot of Peppa Pig. jumping up and down in muddy puddles. Come on, everybody must know that, right? Daddy Pig.
I know who
oink, oink.
it is, but I've never seen any of it ever. So
Well,
my nieces and nephews were more into Friendly Garbage Truck or something like that.
what
I
the
don't remember.
blinking or is that?
What's it called?
Is it really called Friendly Garbage Truck?
Most likely not.
Oh, okay.
Let's find it.
If anybody's got any ideas, let us know on YouTube chat. Otherwise, we could be here for a while.
Trash Truck is what it's called.
Lovely. Never heard of it before in my life.
He's a trash truck that like a garbage truck and makes things talks to things and deals with animals, and I don't know, it's weird, but I barely watched it. It was always on in the background, so whenever my parents babysat, so I don't know.
Okay, well there you go. Now we know what Kenton's upbringing was like. That could explain quite a lot.
Oh no, my upbringing is much different. That was more, Animaniacs and shows that would not be showed on cartoons for kids anymore.
Yeah, we're Cartoon Network kids up here. Yeah, I'm sorry, Lydia. Oh no, but let's get up and going. Ready? You're talking to an old man here, Lydia. So there you go. Right, here we go.
Network.
Here we go. Once more. Let's see if we can hopefully do more than one lap. The green again. Jamelin, TJ, Reed, Trogdon, Kern, Gara, Spainhour, W out in the top 5 at the moment. It's a very mixed field of cars. 4 Toyotas, Chevys, all in the top 4. They're all making it through. And this is the thing I expected to happen when I turned around and said to you, I thought they might be a little bit more spread out across the track. They're not really where I thought they would be. You can see they're all up and down and round. All the 89s in the wall.
I think there's a little bit of help from Brendan Kimmel there, but it's Brad Young struggle right into the back of Reed.
4 wide, Witt there inside Radar, I believe, on a 21 machine. Obviously, Witt's a lap down, but look at the 3 wide action racing taking place here. We knew it was coming. We said it would be one of these sort of scenarios, and at the moment it is. And we can see there Seth Peck moving up on the inside lane. Seth changes his delivery weekly for us, bless him, and he's done it again. So a great job from Seth there as these guys continue in the fight 2 by 2 by 2. And some of them have been 3 and 4 by at the moment, and Anthony Radar was 1 in the 4 wide scenario.
Yeah, that's not one you really want to do too often, going 4 wide. But and this track, it's funny because the inside lane is very good. The outside lane is very good. The middle lane is not very good. You kind of want to avoid it. There's just not nearly as much grip on that middle section. If you're like right on kind of that seam, straddling it, or just slightly under, or anything like that, you sort of want to avoid it if you can. It's kind of like Kansas in that sense. It's just the middle is just there. It's not doesn't really do much. You definitely want to try and see if you can snag the top or the bottom lane. Just to get better grip, better exits than you do in the middle lane.
Yeah. That's the thing, I think, here as well. One of the interesting things is they were talking a lot about the slide job on Sunday. Send it in deep, you slide up, you overtake the car on the outside, and you literally take the air away from his nose, and you run it out basically about a 2 foot away from the wall. And I think that's one of the interesting things here that's going to be happening, is you're going to see a lot of people running it in deep at the moment. We're on board with Brad Young as we just get the 97 of Jeff Reed. Goes right round us here. That is a thing, though. That's the problem, Kenton. That slide job is real. You go up, you take the air away from the nose of the opposite car, and, well, anything can happen.
Yeah, and once that arrow kind of disappears on them, the car can feel very, very awkward. It kind of feels floaty, a little light, not quite grounded. You run a risk of overcorrecting very quickly. It's not always the most fun to have to deal with.
No, especially not. The problem is when the car goes light, you're literally only heading in one direction. That's generally into a load of concrete that's running the outside. You can see Jamelin there taking the old Carl Larson line straight up against the wall. couldn't quite get underneath him, Savignano, at the moment. This is how irrelevant we talk about qualifying is. Savignano gained 12 places, and we're only on lap 11. It just makes it irrelevant. Savignano's got to try and get up if he can. He's got to send it in deep. He's got to slide that car up as much as possible in front of Jamelin's nose. Send it in, son, and hope it sticks. Then slide it right up in front of him. Take the air away from his nose. I don't think it's going to be close enough this time, Kenton, but it kind of looks on what he's trying to do here.
Yeah, he definitely is trying to kind of make that move happen. I don't think he's quite getting the speed. Well, this time he might get it because he does have Alex sort of giving him a little bit of a push from behind. Although now, yeah, no, he's not quite carrying the speed. And that's sort of what we talked about early is that high line. You don't have to shift. Kind of the downside to dropping down, you have to drop a gear, usually into fourth. And then you kind of lose some of that speed as you spool back up and get everything going, and you kind of leave yourself. Yeah, so there it is. Yeah, dropping down to fourth, and you have to kind of gear back up. You know, lose a bit of speed with that. Whereas Jamalin, he doesn't have to. He can just hold fifth that entire way. So he's going to get just that slightly better exit. He's able to just carry more speed down, and then he gets into the straightaway with a little more speed. I think this time though, looks like Savignano is going to probably be able to get the lead or the position off of him. I don't know if Alex Witt's going to be as able to.
Witt's trying to get his lap back, but you saw that was perfect definition of what we were talking about from Savignano. You know, he sent it in low, come straight out, and he slid straight up in front of the nose. And that was it. Alex Witt has just done exactly the same thing to Jamelin there. I'll be interested to see how Jamelin deals with that, but not a lot he can do at the moment with Alex Witt being so quick as he is. However, Jamelin straight in the wall, further back, Reed's in the fight. He's got Trent and Kimmel in behind him currently at the moment, and for Jeffrey Reed, he's trying to make his way forward here. Blimey. Kimmel just come from nowhere, or was that just my imagination?
I mean, both. Could be imagining it.
Absolutely. A cartoon about a little pink dog protecting his owners from random monsters and villains. It's very good and one of my favorites. Oh, okay.
Oh, Courage the Cowardly Dog. Yeah, he's fantastic. The original creator actually just passed away like a couple of weeks ago or something like that. Yeah, it was straight nightmare fuel, but a kid's show. It was the weirdest.
We call that Bob over in the UK. That sounds ridiculous. I grew up with Thundercats and He-Man, so you know.
Oh yeah. I still have a ruler from the early era Power Rangers.
Yep.
Yeah, I went and saw in theaters opening day Power Rangers Turbo, where they had cars.
Nice.
That was a good one. But yeah, the good old Cartoon Network shows were phenomenal. Kids Next Door, which was like these kids that were spies. It was hilarious. You had Courage the Cowardly Dog, Johnny Bravo, which was basically like my generation's version of like Pepe Le Pew, but slightly less creepy.
Didn't he have big, massive hair?
Yeah, and the big muscles, and he was always running around.
Very bizarre. How did we go from NASCAR driving around Homestead, Miami, to a geezer with massive hair in one foul swoop here?
Talented is how we did that.
Oh, welcome to the JPB YouTube channel. If you've never joined us before, this is what you're in for over the next 18 laps. Over the next, I don't know, well, maybe, hopefully, if we can keep this away from the caution fest that I thought it was going to be. But Savignano is just motored. He's made his way all the way through the field. This guy is getting 14 places. He's up in the front already, and he's doing a great job. You can see Savignano leading there as well. One caution change. There has been lead changes, but unfortunately the thing don't want to work properly at the moment. It's been a little bit horrible to me. So we are still working on that, but we're giving them a little bit of test runs throughout. But you can see at the moment, great job from all of them. One caution. I do love it when we only get one caution.
Yeah, I'm very rarely going to complain about that, just mainly because I enjoy watching people scrambling for a green flag pit stop. Nothing is funnier.
Yeah. And at the moment, we're going to be tackling the IRL of this within the next 10 laps or so. They're going to be doing just that. Terry, you do want to stay away from Mr. Peg Day. You're a little bit closer than I thought you would even want to be, but you are still running that upper to middle line. It's a bit of a weird line from TJ at the moment. It's neither down on the 80 on the inside or high in the wall. But whether or not he's setting up Seth Pegg here to see if he can get past him, he's going to have to slide job him up if he can, but we're going to find out. But, well, saying that, he's just scrubbed and lost a lot of time going into turn 2.
Yes, and don't really want to do that. And that's kind of so he kind of stayed in sort of that no man's land a little bit. Didn't quite get all the way down and couldn't obviously go high enough to stay with Seth. And I think, or because of Seth, right, and that's kind of costing him that time. It's just you really have to get all the way down to that line. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you want to be as close to that white line as you can, just to carry as much speed as possible.
It's tricky.
And then, Seth almost had a little bit of a spill, but you can see he's slowly losing time just because Seth is able to carry so much more speed staying up high.
Yeah. It is a very tricky track. I think if everybody just thinks, full flat, go left, I would say take Miami. You've got to, TJ, commit to that, son. Don't half-heart it. You've got to go and commit to it. If you are going to slide it up in front of Seth, you've got to come out of 2 and put it straight in front of his nose, and you didn't do that. That's allowed to run again, and that slight hesitation on that last lap is probably why TJ's not through yet.
Yeah, and and now he's got to worry about Trogdon kind of trying to slide underneath, and he's going to get stuck, very much stuck in that no man's land now. And right where he is exactly where I said you don't want to be, and you can see he lost half a car's length instantly.
It's got to pick a lane. I would go low 1 and 2, high 3 and 4. That would be my ideal. My optional. This running side by side, you're just not getting anything done. It's almost like banging your head against the wall and hoping that it ain't going to hurt after the 15th time of doing it. However, that's going to help him because Seth is just stuck it in the wall on the outside there. Bring it straight out in front of him. Straight off him. Take his nose out and allow him to react. There you go. Now you can run that high line. Going into, see, I'd be where Seth was. It's a different story, isn't it? 1 and 2 low, 3 and 4 high.
I mean, yeah, it kind of just depends. I know some of the things I saw, they were talking about 3 and 4 being low, whereas 1 and 2, you wanted to be high up against the wall. So it just sort of depends on how comfortable you're feeling. I think Seth is just trying to run the high line on both. I do know you kind of have to be careful. I believe it's on the exit of 3. There's sort of a little bump. You're too close to the wall. So you definitely have to be smart about how you sort of exit that corner. Although Seth's now sort of sitting in that no man's land as well. He's kind of dropping to the lines, but not quite getting all the way down. And you can see he gets a little squirrely on exit as he's trying to throttle up there.
Yeah, we've got Bradley Young is chasing down Josh Kuhn down in that 89 machine. Brad in a different livery as well. But then again, I don't know whether that's Brad or it could be just my program going up the, should we say, as it has been for the last 24 hours. And behind that is Terry W. He is sitting with Cody Kern for company, and they're dropping off Armand Brusso a little bit. Now, where is Alex Witt? He has overtaken the leaders, and he is right round the others. Oh, he's just in front of the leaders, actually. Savignano's closing in on him, not too far away. So Witt kind of escaped and overtook them, and now it's probably going to be coming under pressure once more. But let's see how they get on. Lap 28, we have started seeing pit stops already. Sawyer, I believe, was it Sawyer who went into pit lane? It was for a green flag stop on lap 22 there, Kenton.
Yeah, that's well, because he had the incident early, or he did not.
No,
he was
didn't.
not included on that incident.
Nothing to do with
So
it.
it's interesting that he's gone in. Seems a little early though. Maybe unless he just really had cooked his tires and sort of just needed it. But now he's going to have to basically really stretch either the second or third stint tires that he utilizes. Because yeah, that seems a touch early to really be rushing in with those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I've just tried another paint program and I'm still getting the same Alex Witt car. So clearly there's an issue with his livery. Jamie Lynn running side by side with Trogdon. TJ in front. Jamie Lynn looks like he's trying to go on a little bit of march. However, clipping the wall and the entrance into free is not going to help him. That is not what you want to do. Trogdon, you want to make a decision. You're either going to go high or you're going to go low. You're sat in the middle of the circuit. Not going to do you any favours at all. I expect the next 5 laps. I think that's probably where I'm going to see most of the pit stops. This is going to be an interesting one. Terry W and Brad having a little bit of a ding-dong, shall we say, on the racetrack.
Well, let's find out who Terry W's favorite is. Is he take out Brad or
No.
let him go?
Brad nearly...
Brad almost takes himself out.
Yeah, he nearly hits Josh Kuhn now.
Yeah.
Which would have been a very scary moment. So Brad did manage to keep it on the racetrack, but it did get very, very close. Terry's running quite a nice race here at this moment in time. I think he's having a good old time there at the moment, is old Terry. So fair play to him for continuing on. He's sitting, well, actually, his highest I've seen him for a while was in 11th place. So good job there as well, because you need to know that the classics, not the cartoons. Lydia, really? Oh,
Always.
31. Oh, Terry just got loose there, unfortunately, and I think he's just missed out on that one. You should watch He-Man and Thundercats.
I have. Aren't they doing a movie? Or there's talk of a movie
on Thundercats.
He-Man.
Yeah, well, yeah,
He-Man.
and Thundercats.
Oh, okay.
They were talking about
like a live action one though.
Yeah, live action one. However, you know, let's try and keep it as true as we possibly can, eh? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we go. After recent releases of other films that have caused very big dramatics in the world of the
I just
world.
more so find it. It's like how was Gal Gadot supposed to be jealous of the woman they picked? Like Gal Gadot's a supermodel.
What?
It's in the new Snow White movie.
Yes.
Yeah, Gal Gadot plays the evil the evil witch.
Oh yeah.
In Snow White, and it's like she's a bloody supermodel. What?
Yeah, there was a lot of things, wasn't there? I think Snow White has caused a lot of dramas. Let's be real, even with the lead character and the dwarfs, mind you.
Yeah.
Dwarves or whatever. I don't know. Anyway,
no, they're dwarfs. They're dwarfs. That's what they're called in the show. They're dwarves.
But are they like 6 foot tall?
Well, it's because they're not real people that are dwarves.
Exactly. So anyway, let's just get away from that one. Otherwise, we're going to have a political nightmare going on the JPB YouTube channel, and we really don't want to delve into that one. I did delve into that one a little bit earlier on today. If you check out On the Virtual Track with Jakub Olezwinski on Spotify, we did delve into his study course of political science, which I still don't know what the science is behind being policies, apart from lying through your teeth, getting in power, and then chuffing it all up for everybody else. But anyway, moving on, back into the racing. Jeffrey Reed is there tackling alongside Brad Young currently.
Yeah, they're having a nice little battle there. I did notice that Reed has gone with a different Liquid Death livery. He's no longer the black and gold. It's now this gray and white. Kind of looks like, at first I thought the color just didn't register in the car. And then I realized, I was like, oh no, that's actually just a different liveries colorway.
Yeah, I do. That's the thing at the moment as well, with everything breaking for the last 24 hours. There was like a whole Discord of a broadcast I was doing. They were all in default paints. It was not a good look whatsoever, but as I explained, they basically were all reporting the same issue. So that could be a reflect, it could be either way, but Alex Witt's delivery could be that problem as well. But we'll see how he goes. I'll keep trying to get him up as the race goes on. But Cody Kern, Tom Kuhn, Sizemore. I said 33, and they've gone a lot longer than 33. but their lap times are coming in about a second slower than what they were at the beginning of the race.
And that, I think a lot of guys are kind of trying to fight the tire as long as they can, sort of allow them to push through, make it so they can have a fresher set near the end. I mean, that's 100% what I would be trying to do. If I had done any form of practice, I would have done as many, like, kind of longer, that, 40 laps sort of thing, at least, so I could know, okay, how the tires are going to end up, what are they going to sort of turn into, on the hopes that I can kind of avoid having to come in too early. I mean, Anthony Radel, I don't think he came, or didn't come in too early, but like Soyagara, like, I think it was just a little early on lap 22. I mean, he's now stuck a lap down. He's going to probably get it back in 10 laps with stage break, but even still, if he does then have to hop in and he'll probably get new tires again anyway, and then he'll be down to only 2 sets where everyone else will have 3 and has that opportunity to kind of take a couple, and then if there's a couple flags near the, or yellows near the end, and with enough time to go in and swap tires, then they have the advantage that he just won't have.
Yep. It's all about keeping tires. That's the thing here. Making sure that you've got something left for the end. Personally, 40-40-40. Right? 40-40 gets you 80. If you can get to 45 on the next set, great. If you can go 40-40-100 to the end, fine. You're saving, you've got something left. But yeah, don't go into that final, over that final 100 with nothing left, because you are going to really, really struggle. Terry here trying to get cleared. Trenton Kimmel not being able to do that at the moment. Back up front, we've got TJ and Trogdon side by side. This is both part of the Fast Angry race team. And they're in there with Brad the Hamster Young, Rob Sizemore, Terry W, and TJ. So there we go. All in the same chat booth at the same time.
As they should be. Yelling at each other. That's what I would be doing. Causing problems. It looks like Jeff Reed also has actually come in. He's now on his way back out of the pits. So he came in, was at lap 39. It looks like, because says Savignano came in on lap 3.
Yes.
And had a 19-second pit stop. So I'm assuming that means he actually did get tires.
Yes.
Which would be a weird time to have done so.
Do you think, though, that may have been just a missed button on the black box rather than...
I'm hoping so.
him purposely doing it? Because, that, again...
Yeah, because if that was on purpose on lap 3, that seems a little early. Like very early to burn through them.
Considering he's taking the next tires out to lap 43, I would probably say that as well early. Jakowitz has just been overtaken from Trogdon.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Tell me what that means and I'll let you know. But TJ's coming at him as well. 7 laps to stage. We've got Savignano, Trogdon, Jakowitz, Spainhour, Ross Pegg, Jamelin Young, and Terry W. is going to get some stage points if he stays where he is over the next 7.
Yeah, it's Trogdon's having himself another quiet kind of race where he's just sort of there. He hasn't really done any splashy moves, just kind of staying calm, doing his thing, staying out of trouble. It's terrifying. The change from last year to this year needs to be studied because it's been phenomenal.
Yeah, okay, I wondered where you were blinking going with that. I was so close to be like, what are you talking about? Back up a little bit here, son.
Yeah, no, it's been amazing to watch. It's so cool. I enjoy watching people do well. It always makes me happy. It's great.
Okay, well, yeah, yeah, okay, I'll give you
You're on the same page now? You get where I'm going?
I got where you're going there, because at one point I was almost going to jump in. But yes, I fully understand now, and I do agree with you. I think Trogdon's improvement is absolutely massive. He is a driver that's just gone about his business. He's clearly put seat time in the car, and has it just insurmountably gained so much more racecraft, so much more No offense here, please don't take it like this, but common sense on the racetrack. I think that's what's making him stand out at the moment. He doesn't really put himself in dangerous positions. He doesn't take dangerous moves, and he literally just allows the car to drive. I think that's the thing.
I agree. Yeah, he's definitely just kind of found a groove that he just knows, and it seems to stick well with him. He's definitely found how to save tires. Of all of the drivers I've seen sort of accomplish that, he seems to be one of the smoothest on his tires so far, at least this season. Pushing when he needs to, but backing off when he can. He always seems to make tires last that little bit longer without, completely ruining the race as well. Like, he's doing it in a way that, yeah, like he said, he's not losing a ton of time. He does still lose time, obviously, and you're going to, but like right now, like he's catching on Savignano right now. Like, it was 3.17, it's now 2.5, and it doesn't look like he's changed anything. I think it's just his tires are nice and good to go. Yep,
I agree. However, he's not bringing the time down to Savignano, so maybe they're both on the same sort of kind of boat with their tyre wear. However, Savignano, if it is lap 3, then he is on fresher tyres by 3 laps. Not that it makes a difference because we were under caution in 1. So there you go. SPR Racing TV, return the slab. Give me more of an idea on that one. Is this on iRacing? Yes, sir. It is on iRacing. Not quite sure. Anyway, Savignano going to come over the line. I don't know what that means. Savignano going to come over the line. He's going to take the stage win into turn 3 for the final time he goes. And it will be a Savignano stage win. Great job from him taking it here. And we will have a chat with him very, very shortly. But Anthony Savignano, stage winner. Great job from him. There we go.
Yeah, it was a great drive. Trogdon with more points. Spainhauer, TJ's got himself some more points as well. A good overall race.
It was.
Both Spainhauer scoring points. Seth Pegg is up there scoring points.
Oh, it's from Courage the Cowardly Dog. So SPL's clearly read back through YouTube chat.
Okay, got it. Because I was like, I haven't seen Courage in a few years, so.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, we're going to go and take a short intermission. Here's a quick word from our sponsors, Admin Box, here for this season. Okay, that is AdminBox. Go and check them out at adminbox.com. Use code BSC-box for 10% off all orders. That would be absolutely amazing. I can have a chat with Mr. Anthony Savignano, who has taken the stage win. He's in the Discord now, parked absolutely drunk in his pit box. If I did that on a Saturday, I'd probably be arrested. But Andy, welcome in, bud. Stage winner.
Yeah, how's it going, guys?
How are you, dude? You good?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Really crappy qualifying, but I drove through the field in 2 laps. So the only thing I'm worried about is Mr. Alex Witt. That man has a rocket ship right now. So I have to try and save tires, but get as far ahead of him as possible before he makes his way through the field again.
Yeah, I'm interested to know what happened on lap 3 and why did you go into the pits?
Right on the race start, the bottom line just did not go, and I ran into the back of the car in front of me. It wasn't aggressive at all, and it didn't cause anything, but I tapped the damage button, and he said I had front end damage, so I pulled in, and I had 24 seconds of front end damage, or like 20 something seconds of front end damage. So it was, I was very surprised by that. But hey, we're here. We'll take it. Sorry, I was distracted by that for the choose cone, but. We're here, looking at the front row. We got clean air, and the new goal is run from Alex Witt and save the tires.
Okay, buddy. Well, Good luck. Where am I putting you back into, dude? As you've just appeared in my.
I just joined it for the interview. I wasn't even in the Discord, so throw me wherever. Preferably not in a chat with other people.
Okay, I'll drop you in there. Have a good one, Anthony. Catch you soon.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Well, that would explain.
Mm-hmm. No kidding.
No kidding.
I feel like his statement rings hilariously true of most people in this league is try and just run away from Alex. That seems to be a very consistent goal for most people driving here.
Yes, I agree. I think that you've got to try and stay in front of him.
Yeah.
However, that's
even
not
when he's
easy.
in a rocket ship.
That's just not easy, is it? That's the thing.
It's one of the hardest things.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Choose Cone is down. Savignano's on the inside. Next stage is up and running straight through to the end now. 1:25, final stage of the race. And Anthony Savignano's just gone out and done what he needed to do. He's jumped, he's got that start and has gone and absolutely flying away. SPR, do you guys ever do events on Le Mans Ultimate? We are looking into it. I have been asked to broadcast the league on Le Mans Ultimate. I haven't played with any of the broadcast software at all at the moment. So if I was to say yes, I would be going in completely dark. So until we've fully tested it here on JBB, we will not be doing them at the immediate future. We will test, make sure we can get it right, see what's possible, and then we will look at taking leagues on who do Le Mans Ultimate. But at this current moment, it's not something that's on our agenda. So there we go. As we get up and running, and everybody is doing a great job, and Jackowitz finds himself back in second.
I mean, yeah. Jackowitz had a great jump. Seth Pegg had a pretty solid one. He went from, I think he was in 6th, 5th at some point, and he was up into, I think, P4. He's dropped a position, it looks like, and Alex is already on the bloody hunt. Good God, he's already up into 7. Savignano, I don't think you're running quite fast enough. He is definitely in the Coors Light car. He's not actually, but the nickname for the Coors Light is the Silver Bullet, and we're just staring at a silver Alex car, so figured it's fitting. But yeah, that's absolutely terrifying how fast he is moving currently.
Yeah, absolutely. Drop me a message on Discord, dude, in regards to that, and we will talk. Maybe we can bring you on board and see how we get on with it on that one. But yeah, lots of action still to come here. TJ is running side by side with Calvin Ross. Ross high in that McDonald's liveried machine. Straight against the wall. You need to be a little bit closer if you can. Run it high and wide. TJ coming up and sliding his nose straight across. TJ's taking it off Alex Witt. Witt's dive to the inside line now, however. And Witt now sitting there doing what he needs to do over TJ. He's got past him. And for TJ, he's going to have to go again, I think.
Got past him like it was absolutely nothing. Just ripped right past him. Also, I'm very odd that Calvin Ross decided to go with the McDonald's livery. I feel like Bubba Wallace's current streak of not winning is not something I'd want to be replicating, but hey, that's just me. Yeah, see, I still know some things about NASCAR. I don't watch anything, but I still know something.
All right, why did he break down and cry after the weekend race?
I don't know. I just know he didn't win.
Because his dog died, apparently, and it caused him trauma. I don't know. Oh, no. Damn, that Witt is insanely fast. Yes, he is, dude. This is the guy that you want to beat if you can. Good luck, though. But, yeah, dude, he is quick, and Savignano knows he's coming. And that's the thing for Alex Witt. Savignano knows he's there. Witt's closing on to Jackowitz. Let's not forget, Jackowitz and Witt are teammates, so there is not going to be much there. I think on a hold up from Noel Jackowitz on this time around. I think Jackowitz may admit as well that he's kind of going to get overtaken.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen fast. I mean, Jackowitz isn't slow. I mean, he's got the number 1 on that car for a reason, but Witt just is freaking quick.
Yeah.
I don't know
if
he's got that NOS in there or what he does. Oh, there goes Jackowitz blinking around a little bit. But yeah, I don't know if he's got NOS in that car or what, but he just seems to rip right by. Like he's basically right on Jackowitz, and it looks effortless for him. Like it's just instant, right now on the back bumper.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully this is going to be long before Witt's through. That gear change seems to be really in an awkward place, bro.
It does, yeah. It's kind of on that odd spot.
Yeah. Really awkward. Was lifted this time.
Yeah, and I found from everything I can find that the shift down is better than staying in 5th gear and just lifting and braking heavy. You just get less of a tire spin coming out of, and less like having to, like, he's dropping all the way down to 135,
yeah,
and then having to get going all the way back up, and it bogs the engine just that little bit. But yeah, it's just, I mean, he, like, I'd say Witt's doing the same, but he's not getting down quite as far. Like, he's staying in the high 148-ish going through there, whereas Jackowitz was dropping all the way down.
Oh, yellow flag, baby. From the admin box, yellow flag machine.
Savignano doesn't want to see that.
No. I can tell you what also doesn't want to see that is probably somewhere around here. There it is. He's going to bump him. Oh, TJ, Peg, and the 52 all involved for the 3rd caution. And I say 3 because of stage break. But
it looks like something broke on Peg's tires there.
Dude, look at the car.
Yep. Yeah, his tires,
he wants to go over there.
Bungered.
He wants to go over there. Go on. Pop it over, son. Go on.
I think he's also trying to wait so he doesn't take out a car.
Yeah, there you go. For Seth Peg. Wow.
Yeah, I got to see a replay on that because I think that was on
Careful.
TJ a little bit. I think I got to double check. This is so okay. So TJ is going to come up. Seth's going up towards the line. Still going up.
Oh, TJ.
TJ Very is going up.
Still, TJ is still going.
Still going up. Seth tries to keep it out of TJ in the second time and is just not able to. Trogdon just immediately is like, nope.
Yeah,
Gives him about 8 car lengths or widths of space.
Yeah, Kimmel in behind's just got nowhere to go. It's good night, Vienna. Witt's in pit lane. Jamelin's in pit lane. A few people haven't gone in. Savignano's still in pit lane. Is he going to get the race off pit lane with Alex Witt? It's going to be tough. Oh, my God.
That's all, folks.
Clearly the dentures didn't go in the day properly when I put the cream on this morning. Oh, my giddy aunt. Yeah, Savignano won the race on pit lane after, oh, for God's sake. You can see what happened.
We're not even going to say it anymore. We're just going to go, see that. And then there's that. And then there's that. There's just too many words coming out.
That happened. He won. There you go. All right. Oh, for God's sake. I can't get over this tonight. What is going on? It's 10 to 1 in the morning for me. So just cut me some slack a minute. The interesting thing, which I'm a little bit surprised about, Kuhn, Sizemore, Young, Spainhour and Trogdon did not go in. Now, for me, that doesn't work out.
I mean, it sort of depends. I mean, I would have... I don't know. I honestly don't know what the game plan is with that. Because, I mean, obviously the tires, that's not a huge amount of time we've had since pitting, so just saving your tires, fine. But why not get the fuel? Like, you would have probably won the race off pit lane. Most people took tires. I think the only person who pit but didn't take tires, looks like was TJ. Because he had the shortest, and then Josh Kuhn also had a super short one. Everyone else looks like they took tires when they did pit.
My fear is they're going to get run over.
Yes. It's possible.
They are going to get absolutely annihilated. TJ was the first one in and out of the box, mind you, and he was in and out by 5 seconds faster than Savignano. So whether or not TJ didn't take fuel but took tyres, but at the moment TJ is the leader legitimately. Shut up, Kenton, I can hear you. On track, but we are green again here. And Trugden does go out. Watch TJ, should just motor through the field. You got to block Savignano off. Ah! Oh, come on. Well, that has just saved the guys in the front. Watch Calvin Ross in that 20 machine. Oh, side by side with the 19.
I think the 19 got bumped up into Calvin Ross. It looked kind of like he took a little side smack. Or he goes down into
Kuhn. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, he did take a bump, but it was his own doing. And Kuhn said, "Get out of here," and shoved him up against the wall.
Yeah, caution number 4 on lap 66. So there we go. On that one. This may have just saved them 4 in front, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, it looked like it was going to get ugly real quick.
It definitely did for them poor little front 4 creatures. And I'll tell you what, TJ was lucky. Man, he covered off, and he covered off quick. But boy, oh boy, that was a scrape that he got that done without taking Savignano out.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked. And he did get a solid smack from Savignano as he kind of went through there. But it looked pretty survivable, but it could have gotten dicey very quickly.
Yeah, I love that. Lance is in YouTube chat. Going to be a fun restart. Well, we lasted all of about half a corner, Lance. So, yes, it definitely was that. Well, there we go.
Yeah, there you go. That's all you need. That half corner. Win you the race right there.
Yep. Last to first, half a corner, job done. Kushti.
Yeah, exactly.
Who needs anything else?
Or is that just the people in my iRacing splits?
It could be. Could well be. But there we go. Last to first challenge by the end of the first corner. Don't forget, guys, we've got 125 laps. Let's go in full send into turn 1 and take everyone out. Amazing. Good job.
I mean, that's the most understandable. If you're not going to do it any other way, what's the point? If you're not going to win on lap 1, why even bother?
Well, yeah, yeah. But then again, Savignano showed us that in the first stage where he basically roared to the front within about 4 laps or 5 laps or something. So, round 2, fight!
Yeah.
Yes.
Basically,
that's how it's going to go.
Finish him.
Oh, good old Mortal Kombat.
Second movie they made, the most recent movie they made, was actually pretty good.
Was it?
The originals was not very good.
The original sucked.
Yes, it was not as bad as the Dragon Ball Z movie. That was an abomination.
Absolutely. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen, as we're going to get up and running, hopefully, for a bit longer than 3 laps. So there we go. I think the fact that the front 4 have still not gone in, I'm so worried they're just going to run over. If I was TJ, I would pick a lane and just floor the throttle to get in front of these.
He didn't even take tires either.
TJ?
He only had He only had a 9-second pit stop.
Yeah, but did he take tires and not fuel?
No, he took fuel. There's no way. Just tires wouldn't take 8 seconds. That would take more.
Well, there we go. Well, going to find out very, very shortly, aren't we? TJ might get run over by Savignano as well, then, if that is the case. I thought it was the other way round, but maybe not. But then again, he would have had to take fuel because he wouldn't have had any left. What a dingbat. Right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages. Hold on to your hearts, as Lance puts it. Round 2, fight! And they're green. Trugden got the jump at the front, but it's going to be Savignano and Witt, I think, are going to be the main protagonists here. Savignano's got to pick a line. He's got to stick to it. Personally, I would have tried to go, well, we can't really go eyes on the inside line, but yeah, lap 70 at 125 to go.
Ooh, I like seeing 3-ish wide and Savignano. He's just okay. Just kind of pushing Mr. Spanhauer out of the way. Just go. Oh, we lose. Yeah.
No, hold on. We haven't lost anything. Sorry, my Elgato did something very weird then. But there's Alex Witt roaring through the field. And it's going to be on the back end. Savignano still trying to run like a scolded dog. But at the moment, for Savignano, he is sitting in second place. As I said, he's got to get out to the front as much as possible.
Definitely does. Though he's Trogdon seems to be doing okay. Come on.
Well, there we go. That ends that one.
That conversation ended very quickly.
Terry W. may have been involved in this one.
Oh, I honestly have no idea who was at fault on that.
Well, that's unlike you to come up without anything, without saying...
right?
Yeah.
It looked like Kuhn kind of hits the wall and then kind of bounces down, and Terry Spanauer is kind of just there because TJ hits the wall, Kuhn hits the wall, Terry's kind of coming up towards them. So it's kind of like a really weird situation for all parties at that point.
It definitely is, but whatever it is, caution is breeding cautions here, Kenton, and I don't like it.
Nope, not a big fan. I don't like caution-y cautions with extra caution. I don't need the extra side of caution. I prefer just...
What did you say? 3 hours? I really hope not, because I've still got 2 to go. This is not something that's going to go down well, but there we go. Lap 73 of 125. Kuhn, Kern, Sizemore, Reed, Kimmel, Ross, all in pit lane. So we'll see how they go, but at the moment, we've had a bit of a caution fest on 62, 66, and 71, where we went from 1 to stage without any issues. So there we go. Wizard in YouTube chat, let's go 56. Well, Sizemore's coming out of pit lane. He has just won the race out of pit lane for everybody in and around him. He's come out before Terry. Nope, he hasn't. He's just going to be missing out behind Terry W there at the same time. Trogdon's still leading. A little bit worried. He's last pitted on lap 50 at stage.
Yeah, he's somehow still getting good runs too. Like, he was holding off Savignano pretty well, but I think he's going to have a little more trouble with Savignano being able to kind of take the outside lane, which I'm assuming he's going to do. I don't think he's going to line up behind Trogdon. Or he is? I'm not really sure. Game plan is here.
No, he's not.
Okay,
He's
so
gone
Witt's
outside.
Yeah. Witt's going to line up behind Trogdon. Brad Young is going to line up behind Savignano. Interesting. Okay.
Got it?
I do. I'm just trying to figure out if having Witt behind Trogdon is actually going to be a little bit of a benefit because you can kind of push him along. But that's the Savignano on the outside could get interesting.
It could do, but we'll see how these guys get on here and what way this is going to work. But we'll check this out as we're going round now the back straight once more. And we'll see what happens here, because at the moment it's getting very, very interesting indeed. As these guys continue to scrap it out on the racetrack. Once more here for the Jarrett 125. Trogdon out in front. And Witt and Savignano almost side by side. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hopefully no more cautions. See what happens. Green, green, green once more. I fear Trogdon here, dude. I do fear he's just going to get run over.
His tires are, what, about 13 laps older?
Yeah. 50 to 63 they are, yeah. But this is, you can see now, the others are just going to go through. And Savignano goes. Oh, God. Where is that? Somewhere at the back, I think. Oh, there it is. Terry W again. Who went where this time? Did he come up? Caution number 6, lap 75. Oh, the 19's already loose. Terry goes to the outside and bang.
Yeah, so there's just nothing Terry could do. Even Sizemore had not really a whole lot of movement available.
Unfortunately there. So we're back under caution once more.
Yay, caution. They're so much fun. Woo! Oh, there's Truxton. Okay, there goes that front four, or the original front four. Although TJ coming in again is interesting. So TJ had pit on 63. I'm pretty certain. It doesn't tell me now, but I'm pretty sure he had.
Yeah, I agree. So
There's a lot of people coming in now. Trogdon needs to change his board, his pit board.
He does.
I don't like that it's red and not the same color as the car, and it annoys me.
Let me have a chat with Mr. Armand Brusso. Let's see how he's getting on in that 11 machine as well. Armand, welcome in, buddy.
Hi,
how are you?
I'm good. In like 2 seconds, I gotta announce that the choose code's coming up because I gotta remind everybody. So just bear with me if you just randomly hear some stuff.
Yeah, no dramas. No dramas at all there, dude.
Choose code here, everybody. Pay attention to the choose code. All right, I'm all yours, James. What's up?
How's it going out there, mate?
It's hell out here. Like as far as tire wear goes, I literally went to 0% on my tires on that first green flag stint that we had. So it's a disaster.
Are you going to get to the end on the 4 sets you got though?
Yeah, I think I still have 2 tires left, so I'm fine. But as long as we don't get any long green flag stops, nothing to worry about.
Okay, mate. Well, listen, we're going to pop you back in because that was quite a short caution. I may have pulled you in a little bit late there. Have fun, dude, and we'll catch up with you soon, yeah?
Yeah, have a good night.
Bit of a short chat with Armand Brusso this time. Apologies for that. I pulled him in a little bit later while we were looking at the replay on that one. But let's see how this goes. This is the battle we wanted. We wanted the Savignano whip battle, and now we're going to get him out in front.
Yeah, I'm...
Oh, you are still there then?
kind of... Yeah, I'm just kind of...
Okay. I thought I'd lost it.
I started to drink a glass of water. I expected that conversation to go longer, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, I'm trying to recover from my sip of water. Almost choked on it. We're all good now, though.
I choked on it.
Well, I was like starting to drink, and then I was like, oh. had to react a little faster than I expected to, having to push, my unmute button so I could actually talk. So, I didn't pull that. But yeah, no, I think it'll be a very interesting restart. I'm curious if Witt decides to go for the lead or if he decides to sit back.
Yeah, well, let's see. Green again, ladies and gentlemen, into the go restart zone once more. Savignano and Witt. Savignano done what he had to do, closed him straight off. You saw him roar up to the top part of the track, try and get that line going into 1 and 2. He's done that. Alex Witt's got Jakowitz alongside him at the moment. Jakowitz, though, however, I feel is probably not going to be in the best place to even hold on to this, unfortunately, for Noel. Oh, TJ. Oh, he bounced off Jeff Reed. Needs to be a little bit more careful than that one, mate, because he could be in trouble if he does that again.
Yeah, that was a little bit dicey. Not exactly the best way to go about it. Everyone is pointed the right direction, so we'll accept it for now. But and TJ's had a rough day.
Yeah,
seems to be a little involved.
He does at this moment in time.
Not the most fun ways.
No, but this is where the fun's going to start, ladies and gentlemen. Alex Witt is behind the palm trees. I can't really do a lot about the camera angle on that one. But for Witt and Savignano, this is where the battle's going to come from, I think, here. This is how it's going to work. This is what's going to happen. Don't forget, Witt had a stop and hold. He started a lap down, and he's now fighting in second place. I think this could be very, very interesting indeed. It does say positions gained down 1, but he was down 1 from where he qualified, of course. But he has come all the way through the field. Terry W in pit lane and has been for about 4 minutes.
Yeah, I think he has also had a rough day at the office here. So had a little bit of a struggle through there. He's been involved in a few things, and I'm still yet to really say one is 100% on him. So I think he's just definitely out of fast repairs, and I think that's partially why he's stuck in pit lane for now.
Yep. He's been involved in a couple when you say he's probably out of fast repairs. But ladies and gentlemen, this is where the battle's going to commence now. Who's going to come out on top? Is this going to be Alex Witt? Is this going to be Savignano? I think Savignano's worried. I think he's scared here. Because you wouldn't mention coming in saying, oh, you know, I've got to try and run from Alex Witt if you weren't worried about the person you're trying to run from.
Yeah, and I don't know why I feel this way, but it's almost like Alex is kind of just playing with his food a little bit. Like, he looks like he's, like, kind of just coasting it. You know what I mean? He's kind of just hanging around, not really doing a whole lot. Like, I feel like he could blow right by him.
You reckon?
But I think he's trying to like utilize it to kind of save tires. You know, save some fuel just by sitting behind him, getting that little bit of drafting. I feel like that's what's going on here. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. I'm like 90% of the time wrong, but it's just the weird feeling I have here.
Well, we're going to find out. Is Alex Witt playing with his food? Big old slide there. Or is he just not managing to get through on Savignano? I think you might be right. I've got to be honest. I think Witt could be just, you know, playing with the injured gazelle, shall we say. Because I think he's going to be coming and he'll come quick. But how quickly is he going to be coming at? There we go. He started pulling out. Started showing that aggressive stance. Is he going to make it alongside? He has. Savignano's got to go in deep. This is a battle of the machines at the front here. Don't forget these two Fords. It's a very Ford-dominated front four before you get to Garo. We're in there's Toyota. But at the moment, it's and even then, he's next 4 Fords after that. But Savignano, Witt having a great little battle. Is Witt lining him up on that outside line?
It kind of seems like it. He's sort of just preventing him from being able to utilize the entirety of the track. Kind of, you know, forcing him to stay in that middle when he comes out. And riding that top line a little bit more. You know, just kind of being a nuisance, if you will. It's always fun.
It's kind of like the blackhead that won't go away is Alex Witt. Not that I'm referring to him as a spot, actually. Sorry, Alex, if you watch this back there, buddy. But just putting it out there. Probably not the right thing to say, but there we go. As Witt goes again. Is he going to be able to get in once more here? Savignano's managing to hold on. You don't need to see how close they are. They are literally that close at this moment. Alex Witt and Savignano. SGS and the Breakfast Club. Full bore at Miami. This is how and where, and is it gonna work? Not this time. I'm wondering if he's leaving this late. I reckon both have got a pit stop again. I reckon they're not going to go 60 laps on fuel. And it will be a battle of the pit stops and the green flags round about 105, I reckon.
100% I can see that. I think it's going to be definitely a little more into who can have the cleaner of the green flag pit stops, because I got a feeling they're going to have one more, mainly just even from tires. Not even anything else, just tires are going to cause problems. So we'll see what ends up happening. But I think there's going to be one.
You reckon?
Yeah, I got to say, I think so.
I think, yeah. I think it's got to be coming. Oh. You do this all on your own, son. You did.
Oh.
That's got to be a disconnect. You would
Yeah,
just
'cause
drive into the
it didn't
wall.
break at all going into the corner. Yeah. No inputs whatsoever. Yeah, that's. I got a feeling that's what that was.
Mm-hmm. Where are we? Caution number 7, I think we're on at the moment. Lap 89. Kuhn again in the wall. So unfortunately for him, not looking too clever at this moment in time. He bounces it into the wall once more, but I think that could be an out for Kuhn. It is. Everybody in pit lane. I think this might be the final run, you know. I don't know what you're doing.
I get it. No. Yeah, I have no idea. Wants the extra point for leading a lap, I guess.
Maybe. Maybe. But at the moment, for Sev, a little bit weird. But there we go. See what happens with Mr. Pegg as everybody else dives in pit road. We'll have a chat with Seth and find out what he's up to. Let's have a chat with Mr. Seth Pegg, who for some reason has not gone into pit lane. Is there a reason, Mr. Pegg?
I got more than enough fuel to take me to the end. I was fuel saving and tire saving through that little green flag patch we got there, and I've got well more than enough. If we get into like a second green white checkered, it might get a bit dicey, but should be fine.
Tires?
Tires, yeah, they're pretty good. I did try and save. There was a little bit of side by side with Cody, but by and large, that little bit there, I wasn't really using them up, so should be all right.
Are you gonna beat Witt and Savignano?
Oh, that's a big ask. They are both pretty fast. Like, Witt caught up a whole lap in that first stint just on pure pace alone. I don't think I could hold them off, but I'll try and like get in the top 10, see how well I can go here. And if there's a caution later, I've got a fresh set of tires still, so I'll take it.
I'm gonna give you a challenge. Top 5, Seth.
Top 5? We'll see where we end up.
All right, man. Have a good one, bud. Catch up with you later.
You too.
So they're gonna make it on fuel, and he still thinks he's got tires remaining.
Yeah. It's an odd one, but
Can he take the win?
fair enough. I think it would be like he said, a tough ask, especially now that Savignano and Witt both are going to have brand new tires. Actually, I didn't even look at how quick their pit
15
stops
and
were.
14.
Yeah, so they're going to have brand new tires. I'd be very surprised if he was able to kind of fight them off completely and not have to worry about it. But maybe I'm wrong. I got a feeling I'm not, but maybe I'm wrong.
As you said, 90% of the time you are.
Yeah, sometimes I'm right, but not very often.
No, according to my wife, I'm never right. Just putting it out there.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
But according to her, she's always right, and I've got to tell her she's right. So I don't know how that one works, but there we go on this. But let's see what goes on here with these guys. Seth Pegg coming into that Geico restart zone. He's going to be leading it off. It is Breakfast Club 1, Breakfast Club 3. Now let's see what goes on. Seth bolts. Oh, Savignano missed it. Savignano missed that start. Pegg got the jump on him, and Witt managed to stay alongside. You can see they're dicing it out, but Savignano's got a little bit of a better run. Going into 1, coming through 2, down that back stretch at the moment, but Witt's going to get the run on the inside. This is the main focal point. This will do Seth a world of good if these guys continue to fight, though.
Yeah, this is, I mean, who knows? Maybe Seth is going to, get kind of that advantageous aspect of just the two of them battling each other, though they might take each other out. That could also happen. Or they'll just push Seth along the whole way.
Or push him out of the way.
That's also a thing. They're smacking doors pretty good over there.
3-wide scenario. Seth's in the wall. Savignano and Witt once more. Let's keep an eye on him there. Savignano sends it up in that middle lane. Witt's coming low. I think Savignano's got to pick a lane here. Kenton and stick to it, because at the moment, as you say, that no man's land has not done him any favours whatsoever. We're alongside again. Now going into 1 and 2. Is this where Savignano's going to come down? Nope, he stays up high. He's running that high line over Alex Witt. Still running into 1 and 2 down the back stretch. Savignano's going to come out. There's a wall bang. There was a wall bang. He's managing to hold on to it. But ladies and gentlemen, this is about as close as you're going to get. They're leaning on each other at the moment as well. Savignano's trying to pull that draft away from Alex Witt. They are literally kissing through the window. It's going to be all this way. I tell you what, I'll take this for the next 30 laps.
Yeah, this would definitely be exciting. I don't know if it will last. Ooh, we almost said that and almost had Savignano going around and getting hooked by Alex Witt, but he managed to be okay. Staying out of trouble. Dicey, but we did it.
We did. That was a continual fight. Jamie Lynn has cleared Peg. Peg has now got Pepto in alongside him. Pepto's going to dive on the inside. Jakowitz is trying to come through as well. I think Steph's tyres. I'm sorry. I know you say that you're tyre saving, but you have just been eaten up quicker than I eat a Big Mac at McDonald's, I'm afraid. For Seth. Through goes Jakowitz as well. Kern's going to be the next one that's going to come and get him. We'll see how this one works out. Sizemore Wizard is all the way down here. He's side by side with Tom Kuhn, who's had his own evening of disasters, should we say. But the leaders once more are back together. And Witt just can't make it through going into the last 27.
Yeah, seems to be having a little bit of a struggle on his way through there. But I mean, it's going to be hard for me to say that he won't be able to get by him. I guess we'll have to see. Still think he's got a shot. And, I mean, we've seen how quick he can be, so I guess we'll find out very quickly.
Very much so. Going into 3 and 4 again. Alex Witt in that silver machine. Savignano there, on board we go. 98 of 125, just about to go 99. Who's going to come out on top? Heavy is the head that wears the crown, said Wizard. The old philosopher.
Philosophizer?
The philosopher, yeah, that works. Philosophizer. But what does it mean?
Yeah, in this case, I don't know.
Okay. Wizard,
what
let's
crown
know.
does Sizemore have? Is that who we're talking about still? Because it's Wizard, and I know he loves Sizemore, but I'm not sure if that's who's wearing the crown or if we're talking about Alex Witt here.
I don't know. To be honest, I get confused. I do love Wizard when he comes in, but sometimes
because he's the most recent champion, and he's in 4th.
okay.
I'm not really sure.
Okay. I'll leave that one to you, for Wizard. Put in YouTube chat here as these guys continuing to fight out for the lead. Who knows, Lowell? It just sounds good.
Okay, fair enough.
Steph's going out of the 10. Kimmel's just cleared him. Radal's going to clear him as well. I think Radal's going to take that in line. They're side by side at the moment. Anthony Radal on the inside. Peg's high on Handsome. And Radal, well, that's a way to disappear right out the screen in a very, very quick notion there for Seth. He lost so much time going into 1 and 2.
Yeah, I think the lack of tire change is going to be a problem. He's going to be kind of hoping for another caution. He can slap on a new set. If it happens real quick, too, he actually will be in a great spot. Try and reel in everybody who's going to be on 10-plus lap old tires. He might actually have that, but definitely needs the caution, because if he has to go in for them, yeah, it's not going to go so well.
Brusso's running side by side with Sizemore. Reed's just gone and thumped the wall nose to tail. There is Brusso there in that 11 machine. There is Sizemore in front. Go, Parker, go. He's got on the back end of his car. Not quite sure what that's in reference to. Whoa, Jesus Christ. Dude, you're supposed to go round them. Was there contact on that?
I didn't see any.
Oh, you
Looked like he just missed, but or it was maybe I'm wrong.
I know there was an incident with Brusso last week in Vegas, and we called it in a completely different way to what he did as well, if you remember correctly. And then he still
never asked him about that.
No, I did. He come back to me after. He said, "I've watched the replay. My statement stands."
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Parker is his grandson who is on the way. Ah, yes. I remember you said
Yes,
something
I knew
about that. Oh, why didn't you say anything then?
Oh, I totally missed you saying anything about Parker then.
Oh.
We had this conversation.
We did,
Billy
yes.
even brought it up with you.
Yes, because, yes, all right. Look, I'm not being rude, right? I've decorated a caravan. I've slept since then. And I've probably done another
That's fair.
15 broadcasts over that last 7 days between that last conversation and this one. Give me a break. There you
I
go.
mean, that sounds like no fun. But
I'm throwing my toys out the pram at the moment. That's it. End of. Spat my dummy out, and now I'm crying on the side of the road. And there we go. I don't want to go in the car anymore. Right. Tell I've been there with kids, can't you? Let's be real about it. You feel like you're murdering your child in the middle of the shopping centre when they just throw a tantrum on the floor, and you just want to almost see if you can score the extra field goal, shall we say, with them at the same time. Why everybody's staring at you thinking you're murdering your children. Right, anyway, enough of my trials and tribulations of my child life there as well. God bless their little rascal souls. Alex Witt is still chasing down Saviano, and he still can't get through with 20 to go here. So, not quite sure how Witt's going to play this one, Alex, to be honest. Kenton, to be honest with you, sorry.
I'm having, yeah, it's hard to really judge it because, again, I'm not sure if Witt is just purposefully kind of sitting behind him or if he's really just not able to get by him. Because, I mean, Alex was absolutely flying, and he's gotten by him once when he was lapped or was trying to unlap himself. So it's one of those weird kind of things where it's like, I'm not 100% sure here.
What do you think? What would you do?
If I'm Alex in this position, I'd be sitting behind him. Save the fuel, save a little bit of that tire burn, just kind of float around behind him. You're not pushing as hard. You're not having to watch the mirror the entire time, trying to figure out where or when he's going to try and make a move. Like, really, like the same thing it was when I was racing on the track myself. Was second place dictates the race more than first place does, and I think Alex is really trying to use that to his advantage, because I mean, he can make a move whenever he wants to, but the earlier he makes a move, the more time Saviano has either to fight back or try and sort of stifle that move. But then you also got to be careful, because if you leave it too late and you're not quite able to get around him on your main and only attempt, then you're kind of hooped. So I think Witt's just doing his thing, and I'd see him start to be a little bit more aggressive as we kind of get closer to the end. But I think Alex still has a shot at this.
Okay, well, wise words from Mr. Sportak. And let's see how he gets on that as well. Race recap, 110 and 125. Anthony Saviano leading. And we've had 7 cautions. We have had lead changes as well, but obviously we're trying to sort out that part of the overlay. But for a moment, Alex Witt, I can't see a way through. I'm a little bit confused how this is going to happen. And when he did get close, Saviano was chucking blocks all over the place. He was like a linebacker in the NFL at that moment in time. So I'll be interested to see how Witt plays this. Is he going to go and deep dive him, do we think? Or is he going to try and do it more cleanly? Because obviously last time he tried, they were door banging all the way into turn 2 and 3, or 3 and 4, I should say.
Yeah, they got a little slap happy with each other. I mean, when once you get kind of down to those last few laps, a little bit more, all bets are off, and door banging is definitely less frowned upon at that point. I think it's just going to be a case of, well, Alex needs to close this gap a little bit and be a little more in touch, but definitely we don't want to be going into 10 to go with almost half a second of gap. So we'll have to see sort of what he plans to do. It looks like he is kind of losing a little bit.
14 to go at the moment. Lap 112 of 125. Now, stage does count differently due to the fact that the end of the next lap. But currently, it's kind of stuck there at the moment is Alex Witt. He is a little bit closer than he was last time. Can he get any closer? That's going to be the interesting thing. Sawyer Gara sitting up 3 places at the moment, chasing down Andrew Jamelin in the Valvoline machine. And Sawyer there in that 54 car. How far is he going to get up, grabbing himself a top 5 this time around as well. So great job from Sawyer. Is he going to make it on the inside here? Is that kind of like a nice race for Sawyer?
Yeah, he's had a nice smooth race, and I'm just going to point this out. Alex Witt lost 0.2 of a second on that last lap.
Did he?
Yeah, he was, just about. It was 33.45 for Anthony Savignano and 33.64 for Alex Witt. Not sure what happened there. It was a huge drop off out of nowhere. And Sawyer, oh my goodness, Gara having himself a quietly nice race. Got himself high up into the points. Stayed out of trouble.
Done a great job, really.
Yeah. That's all it is. Just gotta stay out of trouble and you're gonna be okay.
Yeah, one man that has not really stayed out of trouble is Mr. Tom Kuhn. He's had his fair share of fights, and he's now continuing to fight with Trenton Kimmel again here in that 52 Sauer machine. 10 to go, 116 of 125. Well, 10 from the lap that they're on, but it will go down in a minute, of course. But TJ is also getting himself in the mix with David Trogdon there. Trogdon ended up down in 8th at the moment, down 5 on where he started. But the question will be is how far can Trogdon go?
Yeah, I'm curious what Trogdon's going to be able to kind of make happen here. It's going to come down to how well he's sort of saved those tires. Nice little move there on TJ, as he's now eyeballing Cody Kern. I don't think he's quite going to get to Gara there. It's just a lot of passes to go in a very short amount of time. And yeah, it looks like also Savignano is just very much clear of Witt. He's been consistently about 0.2 faster the last while, and it's now went from a 0.3 of a second lead to almost a second and a half in 4 laps. I think Witt's going to be in a little bit of trouble trying to close that one down now.
But he is very Alex Witt, though, we know he's quick in general. If he's not got tyres left, then that can be the problem. I am more looking at Trogdon here, who will clear, should Jamelin and Kern cause themselves any drama like that. Trogdon's going to come through here. Probably didn't need that correction mid-corner unless he was already sliding, of course. But he didn't get Jamelin that time around. He is looking quite quick going into the final few laps here. 7 to go. Trogdon down in 7th. Can he get Jamelin and can he get Kern?
I think he's going to get... It does look like he's going to get Jamelin there. Oh, no, maybe not. It looked like he was getting by him, although, yeah, here we go. As we go into the corner, it looks like he's got a little bit more speed on him. The Cody Kern one, I think, is going to be the tougher of the two, just because obviously he's got a little more gap to close, with only 6 laps to go. And of course, he also has to be mindful that Jamelin is coming up very quickly behind him. So Trogdon looks strong still. I don't know how he keeps doing this with those tires, but he seems to make them last for bloody ever.
He does, and one man that is not making them last forever is Alex Witt. He's now 2.45 seconds back. I think this is a Savignano win, you know.
Yeah, Savignano, he seems also to kind of have a weird ability to whisper these tires in that he can push non-stop and they never seem to die. I'm not sure how he does that, because that's not a thing.
Yeah, the question will be, is Sawyer Gara going to get Jakowitz in the last final 5? They are fairly spread out on the track map. You can see them on the right-hand side there. The leader is the 1, the 2, the 3, and we're on board with 4. But how close is Gara going to get to this one. How close is Trogdon going to get to Cody Kern? And is Tom Kuhn going to be able to get Anthony Radel? Because he's sitting very close to him indeed.
Yeah, but although he's riding that high line, I'm curious how much tire, because has he been in the pit more recently? I honestly...
Lap 90.
Lap 90. No, they were both in around the same time. They both had around the same, although he just went flying by him, so I guess that negates my question that I was going to ask anyway. It looks like they both took tires as well. Brad Young doesn't look like he did. He only had a 10-second pit stop, so he might not have taken tires on lap 90.
Well, good, fairly good job, though, inside the top 10.
Yeah. Stayed calm, stayed smooth. Spainhour still drive? He is, man. I got to give props to Terry W. He is 27 laps down and still actually driving.
You know, though,
Escara hits the wall there.
Every lap that Spainhour Senior does is every learning lap. That's the thing.
100%.
It's a full learning course for Terry. And I think every lap he completes is in his pocket of getting more and more used to the car and knowing what he's going to do and things like that. And I think he's going to do, you know, he'll have a season. He'll have almost a breakthrough season. But we're on the final lap of the race here from Homestead, Miami for the Jarrett 125. We've still not... Kenton still hasn't come to me and told me why it's called the Jarrett 125, but let's get to the end of the race and then we'll have this conversation. But Anthony Savignano is going to come over the line. He's coming into turn 3 for the final time in that 99 machine. He was worried about Alex Witt, and over the last 5 to 10 laps, Witt's dropped off. But Anthony Savignano takes the victory. He gets the win here at Homestead. Alex Witt grabs second. What about Jakowitz and Gara? Oh, Jakowitz did manage to hold on. Calvin Ross is in behind him. Oh, no. Okay, I thought Ross would got his best place finish there, but he's already a lap down. Jamie Lynn and Kern come over the line. We're down in 13th and 14th, which is Rob Sizemore. Seth Pegg down in 14th place. I said top 5, Mr. Pegg, and you didn't quite get there. Brusso and Jeffrey Reed coming over the line together there as well. So great job from all of these guys for even getting to the end of the race, because, well, you know, it's very, very difficult. But let's bring you up the results here of this race. Anthony Savignano is your winner. Alex Witt sitting in, it was second. Noel Jakowitz in third. Breakfast Club second and third. Sawyer Gara with a great 4th place. I believe that might be his best place finish of the season, if I'm not wrong. David Trogdon again did get Cody Kern, he did get Jamelin, and he got Spainhour, and he moved himself into 5th. Cody Kern 6th with Anthony Jamelin 7th, TJ 8th. Brad Young in 9th, great finish for Brad. Tom Kuhn 10th, Radel, Kimmel, Sizemore and Pegg in 14th there respectively. Then Armour, Brusso, Jeffrey, Calvin Ross and Terry W, as you say, was laps down and still going. So fair play to him. And then behind that was Josh Kuhn. Why the Jarrett 125?
The first person who won at Homestead, Miami. I can't remember his first name. I didn't at all look into it.
Yeah, I bet you just Googled it, didn't you? On that one.
No, I actually checked it. I checked it earlier when I first hopped in with you, and I saw that. I was like, okay, it's got to have something to do with it. So I Wikipedia'd it. Wikipedia'd it.
All right, well, let's have a chat with your 3rd place man here as well. One, Mr. Noel Jakowitz went around, did his business here. Very quiet evening for Noel. But let's have a chat with him there. Noel, welcome in, bud.
A little deja vu from last week, but hey, nothing wrong with the podium.
No, nothing wrong with a podium at all. And you kind of went around your business and just stayed out of trouble.
Yeah, Homestead typically, like, I practice too much on the high side usually, and I always learn my lesson, and tires come back to kill me and all kinds of stuff. So here it was a lot of keeping up with the track, seeing what other people are doing, and trying to run where it's fast, but also run where, you know, you're not going to just scorch tires. So I learned this time. I was able to run low and high if needed. But yeah, very, very quiet, just minding my own business, and hey, worked out.
Yeah, it definitely did. It's a podium. You know what I mean? Points on the board. So,
Yeah.
there you go.
Always good.
Yeah, that's all you can ask for, isn't it? Really, on that one. But fair play to you. No, a great job as always there, buddy. Just kind of consistently went around and run. How bad was the tyre situation out there?
I think stage 1 was probably the worst. That 50 lamp run for us. I mean, some people were in the 20s or lower on the right front, 20%. And I mean, I had done some practice on a long run like that, and it gets pretty low. You gotta. It's hard to practice for a long run, especially when historically we have a lot of cautions. But when they do happen, like it plays a lot of or strategy comes into play a lot more. So that was cool. But they're rare, so got to enjoy them when they come.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, buddy, on to Martinsville next week. So good luck with that one. And anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, we got 2 Breakfast Club on the podium, so really cool to see. And thanks for you guys every week, week in, week out. We seeing you on track there, James, next week, I hear.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The gauntlet,
Holding you to it.
Yeah, the gauntlet got laid down by Mr. Brusso. We were talking about I don't know if you know, I won the Martinsville MX-5. And just in case you didn't, I thought I'd tell you. But yeah, and then I said, I like Martinsville. He didn't. He said, well, join us on track. So yes, I will be there next week.
All right.
I mean, Ming should commentator curse him the whole time.
Shut up.
Please do. Please do.
No, I'm going to go out. I'm going to try and beat as many as possible. I'm going to get this weekend out of my way with my son doing his junior drag bikes, and then next week I'm going to practice.
Sounds good. We'll not only see you in broadcast, we'll see you on track then.
Well, you won't see me in broadcast, mate, because I can't do that. I'm not quite that clever. I'm old, dude. You know what I mean? Let's be real.
Yeah, fair enough.
Man, I'm going to leave that to Kenton and the gym on that one. But yeah, have a good one, fella, and I'll see you on track next week.
Yeah, see you guys.
Damn it, I thought they might have forgotten. Clearly not. All right, we're going to have a chat now with the man who started off a lap down that ended very, very quickly, to be blatantly honest, and made his way through the field. He finished in second place. It was a close run, and then all of a sudden, with about 5 to 7 to go, the gap opened up to Anthony. Was it due to tyres? Well, let's ask him as he's joined me in the booth. Alex Witt, welcome in, bud.
How you doing?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Pretty good. That was a close run. A lot of really close racing there at that last run there. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then you dropped off at the end, mate. Tyres?
Yeah, tires. I think it was just the track trending a little bit tighter, and I wasn't really dealing with that early enough, I think, and also, racing really hard, just wasn't able to save quite enough.
To be fair, though, Savignano looked quick. He was on his game this week as well. Did you think at any point you could get past him?
I'm not really maybe a couple times there, but it's just so hard to pass when you can't get on the bottom, on the outside. You can carry a little bit more speed on the outside, but you don't really want to, because you might burn the stuff up even faster doing that. So it's kind of a balancing act there.
Yeah, it definitely is, mate. Well done on your second place. Martinsville next week, mate. How are you looking forward to that?
I have no clue. That's going to be crazy. So no plan going into that one.
Well, there we go. All right, bud. Have a good one. Anyone you want to shout before we let you go?
Yeah, shout out to Breakfast Club. Got Noel in top 3 as well. Good show.
Yeah, definitely from you too. Well done, fella. And we'll see you next week at Martinsville.
Thank you.
All right, then we go to the man who took stage. He gained up a chunk of positions at the beginning of the race. He's took the stage wearing his words. He's a little bit scared of Alex Witt and the rocket that he was in. Well, Witt put him under pressure right up until about the last 7 laps, and then Witt's tyres went. But Savignano still had him tyres left. Do we start calling him the tyre whisperer? Well, let's find out as he comes in. Andy, welcome in, bud. How are you?
I'm good, guys. How are we doing again?
I'm all right, mate. Worried about Witt, and then you won by 3.5 seconds.
Yeah, so basically that was some of the most fun I've had on an oval. And in my opinion, that was the best defensive driving I've ever done. The goal on that restart on lap 88 was do not give Alex Witt the bottom, because if he gets the bottom, I'm not going to be able to. I'd have to burn too much tire to get the position back, and then he'll get me back in the long run. So it was a little bit nerve wracking when I was stuck side by side on the outside with him on that restart, but I just pinned it. I said, "Screw it, we got to go for it." So I used the tires to their max that first couple laps, got around Witt, and then just glued it to the bottom and said, "No matter what, he can have the run as long as he goes to the high side." And so, as you guys saw throughout those preceding laps, I was able to hold the bottom, and it got a little sketchy at some points, but that was what made it really fun. And I'm glad Alex was able to put on that fight, but it worked out exactly like I said. He had to burn his stuff up to not be able to run on the same lane right behind me with these next gens. You just can't do that. It'll turn into a snow plow and just go straight while you're trying to turn left if you come into the corner right behind someone at 1.5 miles. So I'm glad it worked out.
Yep, I am as well, fella. You didn't need to be as scared as you thought you was going to be.
Yeah, so I guess that's good. But going to Martinsville next weekend. Started a little win streak here, but we got to completely change the driving style. Are you running with us next week? Am I getting this correct?
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So I've heard you've been talking a big talk about the paperclip. So let's see how you do.
Hey, this is Kenton's fault. Right,
I did nothing.
I'm going to blame
literally.
it. As I said to Noah, I was asked the same question. Yes, I am running, and it stems from the fact, I don't know if you know, and you might do, you might not. Obviously, last season or last year, I won the MX5 Martinsville, MX500 at Martinsville. Come from last to first. And then Armand somehow, we ended up in this random conversation that me and Armand generally do. And then he threw down the gauntlet for me to join him on track. And I said, okay, but you better be prepared to be looking at my rear end. And
so you started it. You started it.
Yeah, that's where it kind of come from. But yes, next week I will be on track. I will not be up in the booth. I'm like you, mate. I can't talk to people while I'm driving, so I'll just sit on my own. And
yeah, I like it. That's how I prefer it.
Yeah, and so yes, I will be on track next week driving
right on.
at Martinsville.
Well, I'll have to make a scheme with something of your sponsorship on my rear bumper that you're looking at the whole time. So
mate, listen, dude.
James's face.
Listen, I will say one thing. I love Martinsville, and I will. If I get near you and I'm in your front rear right, you're going up in the wall, regardless.
Yeah, man. So, Rubbin's racing. Let's do it. I'm all for it.
Just be prepared, okay?
All about. That's what the paperclip is all about. You got to qualify well to race well there.
Exactly.
I guess you proved that wrong with the Miatas, but in the next gens, I feel like you really got to qualify well if you want to have any chance. So it's all about that first 5 minutes. But let's have some fun next week. I'm excited.
All right, man. Well, good luck. Anyone you want to shout out before you let it go?
You too, Kenton, JP, you guys, everything you do up in the booth, awesome broadcasting again, and Alex Witt for putting up that fight and making you guys giving you guys something entertaining to call for that last 30 laps or so there. That was awesome.
All right, man. Well, have a good one, fella, and I'll catch up with you soon.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Oh, bro, I'm getting my butt whipped. I ain't not getting nowhere near that guy.
Oh, I'm here for it. Let's go.
You're always here, but whatever goes into my demise, you always seem to be.
Yes.
I told you, next week, mate, that's it. I'm ignoring everything I ever do here during the week because and then I'm just going to practice Martinsville. I don't even know. I think I'm in the Camry. I think that's the only car I got. That will do. I don't need anything else other than that. So there you go. I'm going full Billy.
I'm going to have fun. That's all I know.
I'm going full Billy Big Balls. That's it. Into Martinsville. Told you, mate. That's how I took the 500. Was basically just nudging people out of the way. So they better be prepared. I'm coming into fight, boys. Coming into fight. But ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna wrap it up.
We're gonna have to put a poll in there. We're gonna have to have a poll on who takes you out first.
Well, last time I drove a triple bypass, somebody took me out and I didn't even cross the start line on a blinking pace lap. So I don't want that to happen. You know, I can't. I don't want to deal with the 18 car fest. What is Martin or 18 caution fest, which is Martinsville normally. So yeah, I won't be trying to take anybody out. I will just be making sure I can get through when I need to. So
I like
there
it.
we go. Nicest way of doing it. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call it a day. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the bells, and tune in next week because you will see me on the racetrack. But for now, I've been James Parfitt. I've been alongside Kenton Sportak, and as always, take care. Have a great week, and you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.